As the wildfires rage through the hills and valleys of California once again, it's impossible to ignore the haunting reality. These blazes are getting bigger, hotter, and more destructive with each passing year. But California is not alone in its battle against nature's fury. From
the world could be powered many times over by solar if you had enough battery capacity to pair with it. Many times, like
the world? I mean,
probably
obviously
by
California, where you're
No.
based, but in Europe? Can you really say that in Europe?
1,000.
Los Angeles area, destroying entire communities and more than 12,000 structures. Officials now concerned the strong winds will threaten the progress that firefighters have already made. Red flag warnings are in effect through Wednesday as wind gusts pick up again. The fire danger level is critical for much of the region. There's now a curfew in place for areas affected.
Wildfires are devastating California once again. Entire neighborhoods have been reduced to ashes, leaving thousands displaced. Among them, notable figures like Usher, Chris Brown, and even LeBron James have taken to social media, sharing their shock, support, and frustration.
That I ain't got fire insurance. So I'm figuring all that out, bro, because my crib burned down.
DDG posted an emotional video saying, "My crib burned down, that's just M's wasted, bro." He's one of many navigating the emotional and financial toll of these disasters, but the bigger question is, why does this keep happening? The fires aren't just natural disasters. Critics point to mismanagement, inadequate preparedness, and systemic failures. Residents and celebrities alike are asking, why were hydrants dry? Where was the support when homes were burning? Take the story of a devastated mother who, while trying to protect her daughter, had to confront local officials. Her plea was gut-wrenching. Why wasn't there water in the hydrants? The governor's response: promises to address the issue, but too late for families who lost everything. Organizations and volunteers have stepped in to fill the gaps. At 7282 Beverly Boulevard, donations pour in: cashmere sweaters, shoes, blankets. Even the smallest gestures can make a world of difference. A volunteer shared, "We're doing what we can, but it's not enough. The system needs to change." Celebrities like Usher have gone beyond words, actively participating in relief efforts. Meanwhile, Elon Musk's bold statement calling out leadership as utterly incompetent has sparked heated debates online. Is he right? Are those in power failing to prioritize disaster prevention? Chris Brown has actively commented on the recent wildfires in California, expressing his concerns and advocating for those involved in combating the fires. On January 9th, 2025, Brown suggested that the fires might have been deliberately set. He posted on his Instagram stories, "Someone starting these fires, shit don't add up." This sentiment was echoed by other celebrities, including Henry Winkler and Allison Sweeney, who also speculated about arson being a potential cause of the wildfires. Brown also highlighted the contributions of incarcerated individuals assisting in firefighting efforts. Approximately 783 inmates have been deployed by the California Department of Corrections and Rehabilitation to help combat the blazes. These individuals earn between $5.80 and $10.24 per day, with an additional $1 per hour during active emergencies. Brown advocated for sentence reductions for these inmates, stating, "LA, make sure y'all throw a ceremony or parade for these firefighters and first responders after this. Also, the prisoners who are out there risking their lives need time knocking off their sentences, just saying." His comments have sparked discussions about the ethics of utilizing inmate labor for dangerous tasks and the recognition they should receive for their contributions. On the other hand, Usher has expressed his concern over the recent California wildfires, joining other celebrities in reacting to the devastation. In a video titled "LeBron, Chris Brown, Usher, and Other Celebs React to California Wildfires," Usher shares his thoughts on the situation. In the video, Usher emphasizes the importance of community support during such crises and extends his gratitude to the firefighters and first responders working tirelessly to combat the fires. He also encourages his followers to stay informed about evacuation procedures and to assist those in need. Usher's response highlights the collective concern and solidarity among public figures in the face of natural disasters affecting their communities. This situation also had LeBron James post on January 8th, 2025. He took to social media to offer his support, stating, "Praying for everyone in Southern California." As the situation worsened with the fires causing significant destruction and leading to the postponement of NBA games, James reiterated his sentiments on January 11th, 2025, posting, I pray this nightmare ends soon. So many prayers. The wildfires have had a direct impact on the Los Angeles Lakers organization. Head coach J.J. Redick lost his home in the Pacific Palisades blaze. Despite the personal loss, Redick emphasized the importance of community support, stating, "We talked about it as a group before practice. It is our responsibility, everybody in this building, to lead on this and to help people." In response to the crisis, the NBA and the National Basketball Players Association, NBPA, have pledged $1 million to support those affected by the disaster and are collaborating with the Lakers and Clippers on long-term assistance and rebuilding efforts. The Lakers have also announced plans for donation drives during upcoming games, encouraging fans to contribute items to support the Los Angeles Regional Food Bank's relief efforts. Additionally, the Lakers' UCLA Health Training Center in El Segundo will serve as a drive-through donation center. LeBron James' messages and the collective efforts of the NBA community underscore the solidarity and support extended to those affected by the wildfires during this challenging time. The lack of fire department resources has become a critical point. Questions swirl about budget cuts and poor planning. When asked about reducing fire department funding, officials dodged accountability, prompting public outrage. Politicians haven't escaped scrutiny. Viral moments show officials being grilled in real time. "Do you regret cutting the fire department's budget?" one reporter asked. Another demanded be clout. "Why were you absent while homes were burning?" The silence so deafening. And then there are stories that highlight resilience. A small group in Pennsylvania started a donation drive inspired by Margaret Mead's famous quote, "Never doubt that a small group of thoughtful, committed citizens can change the world. Like, their efforts may not rebuild homes, but they're rebuilding hope." But what about the long-term solution? Experts suggest investing in fire-resistant infrastructure and better forest management. However, these require political will and money. Until these systemic issues are addressed, California may continue to face these tragedies year after year. As the fires rage on, we're left with the same burning questions: how many more lives will be upended before real change happens? And will the powerful finally step up? As the ashes settle, the broader implications of these wildfires come into sharper focus. Beyond the immediate devastation, these infernos expose a much deeper crisis, one that intertwines economic disparities, environmental neglect, and social inequities. For the working class families in California, the recovery process is far from simple. Insurance claims can take months, even years to process. And for those without fire insurance, rebuilding seems like an impossible dream. One father who lost his home in the recent fires shared his heartbreaking reality. "I'm working 2 jobs and now I have to figure out how to put a roof over my kids' heads. There's no safety net for people like us." Snoop Dogg has also expressed concern and solidarity with those affected by the recent California wildfires. He praised the sense of community in Los Angeles and the way people are coming together to support each other during this crisis. Snoop also hinted at organizing a benefit concert to raise funds for relief efforts, demonstrating his commitment to helping those impacted.
"It means a lot to me that you're here. How's your family?"
Everybody's doing good. The family's doing good. Just a couple of intermediate people that I do know that I consider family that, lost everything. So, we did what we do. We come and we give them everything that they need. The world sees its own tragedy because if you think about New Orleans, they see their tragedy. It's just California, this is like our first time dealing with it. And the way that California is coming together, the way that the world is helping us, people are coming together and they're not looking at differences, they're just looking at trying to make a difference. And at the same time, I got a lot of people that's out there on the ground that's making things happen. I'm pushing buttons, making things happen. And a lot of times when we put these, donations together, certain people don't get it. So we need to make sure that everybody who needs this gets this.
His statement emphasized the resilience of Los Angeles and his hope for collective recovery through community and support. Meanwhile, the environmental toll is staggering. The fires have released millions of tons of carbon dioxide into the atmosphere, exacerbating global warming and creating a vicious cycle that makes future wildfires even more likely. Local wildlife has been decimated, with habitats destroyed and species struggling to adapt. One conservationist described the impact as an ecological disaster that will take decades to recover from, if ever. On the political front, tensions continue to escalate. Grassroots movements are demanding accountability, organizing protests and petitioning for reforms. One of the loudest voices in this movement is 17-year-old activist Elena Ramirez, who's become a symbol of hope and resilience. Speaking at a recent rally, she declared, "We're not just fighting fires, we're fighting for a future where these tragedies don't happen anymore. This is a battle for survival." The spotlight is also on corporations, particularly those in the energy sector. Utilities like Pacific Gas and Electric have faced lawsuits for negligence, with some blaming outdated infrastructure for sparking fires. Critics argue that profits have been prioritized over safety, leaving communities to bear the consequences. Calls for systemic reform in corporate governance are growing louder, with activists urging for stricter regulations and accountability measures. But it's not all doom and gloom. Stories of extraordinary kindness and solidarity continue to emerge. In one small town, a local diner has been providing free meals to displaced families, funded entirely by community donations. Nearby, a retired carpenter has been volunteering his time to help rebuild homes, saying, "I've got the skills and they've got the need. It's the least I can do." The rebuilding effort isn't just physical, it's emotional and cultural as well. Artists and musicians are using their talents to raise awareness and funds, hosting benefit concerts, and creating murals that commemorate the resilience of affected communities. These efforts remind us of the unyielding spirit that refuses to be extinguished, even in the face of overwhelming adversity. Yet the question remains, how do we move forward? Experts are calling for a multi-pronged approach that addresses both immediate needs and long-term strategies. This includes better urban planning, investment in renewable energy, and educational campaigns to prepare communities for future disasters. Public-private partnerships could play a crucial role, leveraging resources and expertise to create sustainable solutions. The wildfires of California are more than just a natural disaster, they are a wake-up call. They reveal the cracks in our systems, the urgency of addressing climate change, and the power of community when all else fails. As we watch the flames die down, we're reminded that rebuilding isn't just about bricks and mortar. It's about creating a future that's stronger, fairer, and more resilient for everyone. Will we rise to the challenge, or will we allow the cycle of destruction to continue unchecked? The answers lie in the actions we take today. The long shadow of these wildfires stretches far beyond the immediate aftermath, forcing us to confront some uncomfortable truths about the systems we depend on. Each disaster seems to peel back another layer of unpreparedness, revealing the glaring need for systemic change. For families displaced by the fires, the struggle doesn't end with escaping the flames. Temporary shelters are overwhelmed and the path to permanent housing is riddled with obstacles. Nonprofits and local organizations are stepping in to provide relief, but their resources are stretched thin. Lisa, a single mother of 2, shares her plight. "We've been living in a motel for weeks. My kids don't understand why they can't go back home. I don't know what to tell them." As survivors attempt to piece their lives back together, the psychological toll becomes another unseen casualty. Experts warn of a looming mental health crisis as many grapple with trauma, anxiety, and uncertainty. Community therapists and counselors are offering free sessions, but the demand far exceeds the supply. People are showing signs of PTSD, one counselor notes. The scars of these fires aren't just physical, they're emotional and mental as well. The economic ripple effects are also staggering. Local businesses already reeling from pandemic-related challenges are struggling to survive. Small business owners like Raj Patel, who runs a family-owned grocery store, face daunting decisions. Do I rebuild or do I move on? Rebuilding feels like starting from scratch, he says. For many, the answer isn't clear. Then there's the issue of environmental justice. Studies have shown that low-income communities and communities of color are disproportionately affected by wildfires. These areas often lack the infrastructure and resources needed for effective disaster response and recovery. Activists are calling for equity-focused policies to ensure that the most vulnerable aren't left behind in the wake of these disasters. While government agencies promise improvements, the public's trust is waning. A recent survey revealed that over 60% of Californians believe their state's leadership isn't doing enough to prevent future wildfires. One frustrated resident summed it up, "We're tired of promises, we need action." The push for accountability has led to innovative community-driven solutions. In one Northern California town, residents banded together to create a volunteer fire prevention squad, clearing brush and creating fire breaks. The initiative has become a model for other communities, demonstrating the power of collective action. Technology is also playing a role in rethinking disaster preparedness. Startups are developing early warning systems, drone-based fire monitoring, and AI-driven risk assessments. But as with any technological solution, accessibility remains a concern. Will these innovations be available to everyone, or will they become another privilege of the wealthy? Despite the challenges, there is hope on the horizon. Legislation aimed at strengthening fire safety standards and increasing funding for emergency services is gaining traction. Environmental groups are pushing for aggressive climate action to address the root causes of these disasters, and at the grassroots level, communities are proving that resilience isn't just about surviving, it's about thriving in the face of adversity. As California continues to recover, the lessons from these wildfires must not be ignored. The time for half measures is past. It's a moment to rethink how we approach disaster management, climate policy, and social equity. The path forward is steep, but the stakes have never been higher. Will we seize this opportunity to build a better future, or will we allow history to repeat itself? The choice is ours, and the clock is ticking. For many celebrities, the California wildfires have been a harsh reminder that fame and fortune don't shield against nature's wrath. While some have lost homes, others have used their platforms to cope, contribute, and connect with their communities during this challenging time. Chris Brown, known for his vibrant persona, showed a vulnerable side when he shared his loss on social media. "My crib burned down, that's just M's wasted, bro," he admitted, his words resonating with countless others who have faced similar devastation. Brown has since focused on family and music as outlets for healing, turning his home studio into a sanctuary for expression. LeBron James took a proactive approach, emphasizing the importance of community. Forced to evacuate his family, he didn't just seek refuge, he extended his resources to help others. "This isn't about me, it's about us," he said during a press conference. James donated generously to local relief efforts, ensuring displaced families had access to shelter, food, and basic necessities. Singer Usher has been vocal about the emotional toll of witnessing destruction firsthand. Known for his philanthropic efforts, he's partnered with charities to support rebuilding efforts and has also spoken openly about finding solace in his faith. "This is a time for reflection and action," he shared during a live stream, encouraging his fans to support those in need. Miley Cyrus and Liam Hemsworth, who lost their Malibu home in a previous wildfire, have become advocates for disaster preparedness and recovery. Cyrus recently shared a heartfelt message on Instagram, reminding her followers to cherish what truly matters. "Homes can be rebuilt, but memories and loved ones are irreplaceable," she wrote. The couple has since donated to fire relief funds and urged others to prepare emergency plans. Elon Musk, though not directly affected by the fires, has used his platform to critique leadership and propose innovative solutions. Musk's companies have contributed by providing solar power systems to relief centers, helping them operate independently during power outages. His blunt comments about systemic incompetence have sparked debates but also highlighted the urgent need for action. Meanwhile, actors like Leonardo DiCaprio have channeled their energy into environmental advocacy. DiCaprio's foundation has donated millions to wildfire prevention and climate resilience initiatives, emphasizing the role of climate change in exacerbating these disasters. "We can't treat this as an isolated event," he said in a recent interview. "This is a global issue that requires a global response." Even in the face of loss, many celebrities have found ways to inspire hope. Lady Gaga, known for her flamboyant performances, shared a stripped-down piano rendition of one of her songs to raise awareness and funds for fire victims. "Music heals," Bravery, she told her audience, "and right now we all need healing." These stories show that even those in the spotlight are not immune to the challenges brought by these wildfires. Their coping mechanisms, from using art as therapy to leveraging influence for good, remind us of the shared humanity in times of crisis. As they continue to rebuild and support their communities, they serve as examples of resilience, proving that recovery is not just about bouncing back, but about coming back stronger. The California wildfires have tested the resilience of many, including celebrities who are often seen as untouchable. These disasters have stripped away that illusion, showing the human side of fame as stars confront loss and rally for recovery. One poignant story comes from Oprah Winfrey, who turned her home into a temporary refuge for friends and employees who were displaced by the fires. Speaking on a live broadcast, she reflected, "We can replace things, but we can't replace people." This has been a humbling experience. Winfrey has since donated millions to local charities, emphasizing the importance of community-driven recovery. Jennifer Aniston, known for her reserved public persona, used social media to share updates about her experience evacuating her Los Angeles home. "It's surreal and terrifying," she wrote, expressing gratitude for firefighters and first responders. Her posts have been a source of comfort for fans, showing that even icons like her are not immune to the chaos. Mark Ruffalo, an outspoken advocate for climate action, has taken to Twitter to highlight the environmental factors fueling these disasters. "This isn't just bad luck," he tweeted. This is climate change. We need systemic change now." Ruffalo has also worked with environmental organizations to push for policy changes, using his platform to educate and mobilize. Rihanna, who has always been a champion for humanitarian causes, pledged significant funds through her Clara Lionel Foundation. Her efforts focus on providing shelter, food, and medical supplies to affected families. "We can't sit back while people suffer," she shared during an interview, urging others to get involved. The Kardashians, often seen as symbols of extravagance, have also stepped up. Kim Kardashian West and her family hired private firefighters to protect their properties, a decision that sparked both criticism and admiration. While some argued it showcased privilege, others noted the firefighters' efforts helped save entire neighborhoods. In addition to this, the family has made substantial contributions to wildfire relief funds. Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, who has long been a voice of positivity, visited evacuation centers to uplift spirits and offer support. In a heartfelt Instagram post, he wrote, "In the face of devastation, we're reminded of what truly matters: human connection and kindness." His hands-on approach has inspired many fans to volunteer and donate. Ellen DeGeneres, who had to evacuate her Montecito home, shared her experiences through her talk show. Highlighting the bravery of first responders, she dedicated an entire episode to raising awareness and funds for wildfire victims. "These heroes risk their lives every day and we owe them so much," she said, fighting back tears. Actor Keanu Reeves, known for his low-profile lifestyle, quietly contributed to relief efforts, funding the rebuilding of local schools and community centers. His understated generosity has been celebrated as a testament to his character. "Actions speak louder than words," a local official commented about Reeves' involvement. These responses remind us that celebrities, despite their fame, are part of the fabric of the communities they live in. Their efforts, whether through personal contributions, advocacy, or on-the-ground support, highlight the collective resilience needed to overcome these tragedies. The question remains, how can we all follow their example to build a safer, more sustainable future? Thanks for watching. Check out our other videos. Dive deeper, stay curious, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button to never miss an update. Until next time, stay curious, stay informed, inside out.